Hi and happy Wednesday. My name is Colleen and I'm back. I'm so happy to be back with all of you and, continuing to do these streams and bring you awesome information about your dental career and the dental industry as a whole. Okay, so today we are talking about hiring a dental hygienist. Okay, so Princess Dental Staffing has broken down the hiring process for a dental hygienist into 7 easy steps. And we're going to be going over them a little bit more in depth today and bringing you some great tips and tricks to help ensure that you are hiring the right dental hygienist for your office. Dental hygienists, they play a vital role in patient care, from performing preventative services to educating patients and fostering long-term relationships. So it is absolutely crucial that you are finding not just a qualified dental hygienist, but one that fits well into your office culture that you've spent so much time cultivating. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, the 7 steps to hiring a dental hygienist that fits with your dental office. But before we dive too deeply into that, just want to talk for a moment about Princess Dental Staffing. They are a dental job board and they have positions available for dental assistants, dental receptionists, dental hygienists, dentists, and a lot of other different dental positions in a variety of areas. They've got full time, part time, temporary, and permanent roles available. So if you're a job seeker, be sure to visit princessdentalstaffing.com and see what positions they have available in your area. You can also create a profile and get your information in front of hiring managers and decision makers. And if you are a hiring manager or decision maker, Princess Dental Staffing has got a lot of really great resources and information on their website, princessdentalstaffing.com, along with their contact information, phone number, email address, and they've got chat available on their website as well. Okay. Also on their website, they have a really great blog that you'll definitely want to check out, which covers a lot of the same topics that we cover in these streams. Speaking of these streams, each week Princess Dental Staffing is bringing you a new stream on Wednesday covering a new topic regarding your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you like the content we're bringing you, please do drop us a like. And if you want to be part of the conversation, if you have any thoughts or questions, insights that you want to add to the content we're bringing you today, or to talk about the dental industry as a whole, be sure to comment below and we'll be sure to respond to that comment as soon as possible. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the 7 steps for hiring the right dental hygienist for your office. Okay. So dental hygienists often spend more time with patients than the dentist does a lot of the times. And this truly speaks to the importance of hiring the right dental hygienist for your office. Okay. Their ability to build rapport directly impacts patient satisfaction and retention, which means more money for your business. And hiring the right hygienist ensures that your practice maintains high standards of care and a positive atmosphere. So hiring the right one really is super essential to continuing to uphold those high standards that you've set in your office. Okay, so let's dive into the steps. Step one. Key qualifications to look for. You definitely want to define the key qualifications. Okay. So when Princess Dental Staffing pre-screens dental professionals who join the Princess Dental Staffing site, they prioritize candidates who meet the essential qualifications. And these are some of the qualifications that you're definitely going to want to look for as well when you're hiring a dental hygienist. Number one, education and training, right? They have to have graduated from an accredited dental hygiene program. So you're definitely going to want to check that out and make sure that your candidates have that graduation that accredited dental hygiene program. Licensing and certification, you want to make sure that they hold a verified state license. And you want to make sure that their technical skills are up to par as well. So, since it's been a little while since we've done one of these streams, let's talk for a second about, hard skills versus soft skills, real quick. Okay, just kind of as a quick refresher. So, hard skills, also sometimes called technical skills, are the skills that someone is taught, that a job seeker is taught. These are teachable and they're usually pretty easily testable. skills as well. Okay. So when it comes to dental hygiene, being a dental hygienist, the technical skills that you want to look for are, whether or not the applicant has proficiency in things like scaling, polishing, administering local anesthesia, and using modern dental technologies. Okay. So those are just some of the technical skills that you're going to want to look for. Okay. So that's step number one, making sure that you're outlining the key qualifications to look for. Step number two are soft skills that you want to look for that will help your dental hygienist achieve success in your office. Okay, so we talked about hard skills or technical skills already. So let's talk for a moment about soft skills. Soft skills generally are those skills that are harder to teach or train, and they're quite difficult to test as well. Okay, when it comes to like standardized testing and those sorts of things. So, but soft skills are also, really, really important as well. So, some examples of soft skills are things like people skills, time management, communication, collaboration. Again, hard to teach and hard to test for. Okay. But, when you're looking to fill roles that are highly technical in nature, but also have a strong customer service component, like they're dealing with a lot of different people on a daily basis, you definitely want a balance of those harder technical and soft skills. Okay, because that is going to help you not only get more patients, but also retain those patients over a long time. Okay. So some of the questions that you want to ask yourself are things like, can this hygienist work with an anxious patient, right? We get anxious patients all the time in the dental industry. So the hygienist is going to have to be able to work with that anxious patient, easily. Does the hygienist have the attention to detail necessary for cleanings and assessments, right? That's a technical skill, but attention to detail is something is more of like a softer skill that they're going to need in order to support that more technical skill. And finally, how well would the candidate speak with your patients and your team? Right. So they've got to be able to work with your patients, but also foster that teamwork and collaboration to make sure that office operations run more smoothly. Okay. So that's step number two, the soft skills. And step number three, we need to craft a standout job description. Okay. So the job description is the first impression a candidate has of your practice. Okay, so there are definitely some things that you want to make sure that you include in this job description. First, you definitely want to highlight the responsibilities. Okay, and that way it's clear what the dental hygienist can expect to do on a regular or daily basis if they are hired for this role. You want to clearly outline the tasks such as periodontal therapy or patient education and use of digital radiography, those sorts of things. Okay, what the applicant can expect to do on a daily or regular basis. You also want to share something about yourself, your practice, right? Share what makes your practice a place that candidates would want to work. Okay. Again, we're trying to attract top talent. So you want to make sure that there's something in it for them and that you make sure that you communicate that so that they want to apply for your practice. Okay. And finally, you definitely want to list qualifications as well. So if a candidate has to have specific qualifications like specific education, licensure, or experience outside of the things that we already mentioned, you definitely want to list those in the job description. Something that you may want to consider actually is having a minimum qualification section and a preferred qualification section. Right. So having a minimum qualification section, these are the things that you have to have, and a preferred qualification section are the things that you would like for them to have. And that's going to help applicants not only determine if they would be a good fit for your office, but it's also going to help them tailor their resumes as well to ensure that they're talking about all the things that you want to read about them. Okay. So it's really important that you list those sorts of things, or like definitely qualifications. And again, you may want to consider, separating out the minimum qualifications, make sure you have all this on your resume, and the preferred qualifications. These are the things that are going to help you stand out as an applicant. Okay. Number four, interview tips. So I like to think up job description, or at least I used to when I was in human resources, because it's all kind of part and parcel of the same thing, right? You're trying to find an applicant that fits with your office as well as possible. So while you're crafting that job description and that job posting, and you've got already the minimum qualifications and the preferred qualifications, um, right in front of you, it's a lot easier to craft those interview questions because you don't want to go into the interview unprepared, right? You wouldn't want your applicants to do that. So you definitely want to be prepared as well with some questions that are actually going to help you measure how well this applicant will fit into your office. Okay. So I like to kind of do those things at the same time. And you definitely want to assess both the technical expertise of the applicant and also the cultural fit within your office's culture. So, some of the questions that you may want to consider asking are things like, tell me about a time you dealt with a nervous patient. How did you help them feel at ease? Okay. Another one, how would you handle discovering a patient has significant gum disease during a routine cleaning? And finally, how do you educate patients about oral health in a way that they easily understand? So these sorts of questions really do help you kind of assess not only the interpersonal and communication skills of the applicant, but also their technical question or their technical expertise as well, and possibly teamwork and collaboration as well. Okay. Step number five. Now you need to figure out where to find your qualified, your talented candidates. Okay. So there are several different areas where you can find qualified candidates. First are staffing agencies, right? So working with staffing agencies can help you get access to qualified candidates, and Princess Dental Staffing, as all of you hopefully know already, specializes in the dental industry. They have access to, or rather, they give you access to pre-screened qualified applicants quickly. So that saves you time, but still gives you those quality outcomes that you are looking for when it comes to finding the right candidate. So if you need a little extra help, reach out to Princess Dental Staffing and see how they can help you fill the role with the right candidates. Okay. Also, networking. But through networking, you can find other qualified candidates as well. So you can connect with like local dental hygiene schools, professional associations, or alumni networks. And finally, of course, digital platforms. So you can post your you can post your openings on job boards like Indeed, ADA, Career Center, or again, Princess Dental Staffing. You can post with Princess Dental Staffing, and that post will go specifically to candidates within the dental industry. Okay. And step number six, okay, we're talking about the importance of cultural fit. Your office culture is an important part of the hiring equation, right? You've spent a lot of time cultivating that culture, a culture that works for your office and for your patients. So you need to find a hygienist who aligns with your practice's values and team dynamics in order to enhance your office environment, not detract from it. So here are are three things to consider when you are interviewing or going through the application process. Number one, their work style. Does the candidate prefer a collaborative or an independent approach? And what works best for your office, right? Which one or both? Patient interaction. Do they embody the level of care and empathy that your practice is known for? And finally, consider working interviews. Okay, so you can invite top candidates to a working interview, which is essentially where they spend a day shadowing or performing a limited set of duties. And that gives you a front row seat to see how they interact with your team and with your patients. And by the way, if you are thinking about conducting working interviews for your top candidates in order to kind of narrow it down to one or maybe two, Princess Dental Staffing makes working interviews easy. You can simply schedule a temp request for the day of the interview in 3 easy steps. Invite the candidate you're interviewing, and once they accept, you're all set for your working interview. So you can kind of see how that candidate performs within your office environment and how you can expect them to perform if they're hired for this position. Okay. And step number 7, last one, onboarding and retention strategies. Okay. So, now you've hired the candidate. Okay, now what? The hiring process doesn't just stop there. You need to think about onboarding and you need to think about retention, keeping the new hires that you spent so much time and effort finding and onboarding. Okay. So, when it comes to onboarding, you definitely want to have a robust onboarding process that will provide the applicant with, well, now the employee with the tools that they need to be successful in your office and to provide that high level of care to your patients. Okay. Retention also plays an important role in the hiring process. Um, Now, Princess Dental Staffing has a really great blog post on tips for retaining staff, but here are some of kind of the highlights of that article. I definitely recommend that you go back and read it in its entirety, but here are some of kind of the highlights. Number one, training, of course. Pair new hires with experienced team members, and that creates a really smooth transition and again provides that new employee with the tools they need to be successful and to reach those performance benchmarks that you have set for them. Next, feedback. Regular check ins offer an opportunity to proactively address a new hire's concerns and celebrate their successes. And finally, growth opportunities. Continuing education is a valuable perk many hygienists are looking for in a new position. So be sure that you are helping them to continue to grow, and that is going to help you to retain that new employee and invest in that new employee and get that return on investment. Okay. Now let's talk about a little bit, real quick, about what assistants want, or excuse me, what hygienists want. So we went through all the steps on how to retain that hygienist. Now let's talk a little bit about what they want, and this is going to give you some insight and help on how to, craft that job description, what to offer the hygienist in the interview, and how to retain that hygienist, right? So there are a lot of different threads on Reddit that discuss what dental hygienists want from a dental office. And some of these top things are things like respect, right? Obviously, we all want respect in the workplace. Wages that continue to be competitive over time, right? Because inflation is a thing. Enough time for treatment. So, giving them enough time and space to complete the treatments, thoroughly and, you know, and well enough to, again, provide that high level of service to those patients. Attention paid to the physical demands of the job to allow for longevity. Okay. Friendly coworkers, and then, of course, insurance as well. One other Reddit user shared, avoid favoritism among staff, always a good tip, and don't give me all the difficult patients because of my skills and then insist all hygienists get paid the same rate, right? Workhorses get tired too, so don't overwork them and burn them out. Try your best to train other team members to be able to handle those most difficult patients, or give your dental hygienist some incentive to deal with those difficult patients so that they feel valued and respected. Okay. Alrighty. Now, all of these steps, we went over all the steps and, on how to find and hire the right dental hygienist for your office. But of course, if you still need a little bit more help, Princess Dental Staffing is here to help you because they specialize in connecting dental offices with top tier talent. So if you need a little extra help, or if you just don't have the time to spend on these 7 steps, Princess Dental Staffing does a lot of the work for you with their easy to use platform. So create an account today and get started. Okay. All right, so that will do it for me today. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with a new topic covering your career in the dental industry. But until then, I hope you have a great week. Have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe out there. I will see you soon.